Welcome to the GPLama YouTube channel and to another friendly reminder to keep on top of firmware updates if you're running the latest Shimano 12-speed Di2 group set. Now the beauty with the newer generation Di2 is the wireless module is built in, meaning these updates can be done with a mobile device. Okay, onto the backstory about how this video came about today. Now ever since I've had my 12-speed Di2, the gear usage rate information has never worked. So pulling up the details here, 0% in any of the gears, no log time, and nothing at all. Now, I'm not alone here. User Because Cactus had exactly the same problem and query over on Reddit over about a year ago, indicating that the gear usage rate just simply wasn't working for them. Scrolling down, a little bit of information here, but in the mix is a link to this FAQ here over on the Shimano website, which says pretty much, yeah, it doesn't work and there'll be an update. So it was confirmed that the gear usage ratio is not displayed correctly, aka it doesn't work at all, when a bike is equipped with a front derailleur compatible with the BTDN300 Di2 battery. That's the Di2 battery that comes with the Shimano 105 12-speed, Ultegra and Durace 12-speed. An updated version is scheduled to be released in January 2023. Shimano apologises for the inconvenience and they appreciate our patience. Alrighty, jumping over to the firmware updates of the BTDN300, the battery, and surprise, surprise, took them through till September to release an update with some pretty vague changelog information. There's a reference there to ride time can now be reset, but that's not gear usage rate, and general bug fixes. Now, jumping back over to the Reddit post, and because Cactus did a follow-up 22 days ago, indicating that they just did the update and now everything's working. That's the solution. All right, let's get this in action and see if it fixes my problem too. Okay, putting the rear derailleur into connection mode with a short press until we see the blue LED flashing, and that allows the eTube app to connect to it. Once it loads up, takes around 45 seconds, so I'll speed that process up just here. Already giant TCR connected. Let's jump over to update. And rightio, we have an update to the rear mech, front mech, and to the battery to 4.1.0, which should allow us to get the functionality I'm looking for. Before going ahead with the updates, just a quick check of what's included with these firmware updates, starting off with the front derailleur. I'm going from 404 up to 410. Now the EWEX310, I believe, is an e-bike related product, so not really applicable, but the updates there will get it done. And the rear derailleur, I have 407, I'm going to 410. It also has reference to the EW e-bike device, but also this somewhat vague update line as well. Fixed identified issues, whatever they may be. Okay, warnings on screen here, all pretty standard. We will hit update, and taking note of how much battery my phone has, I'll also plug that in so we don't have any issues halfway through the update. So this update for the rear derailleur, front derailleur, and the battery takes exactly 11 minutes and 5 seconds. It's not fast, and I didn't touch the levers for, well, that's a whole other video in itself, getting these levers updated, but they're outside of the scope for today's update. Alrighty, onto the final update there at full speed. The battery, BTDN300 now updated. After hitting that disconnect button in the app, which is important, I ran through a few of the gears here just to clock up some ride time, I guess, and to make sure everything's still changed as expected. Everything's working. So it was then over to the app, back to pairing mode, press hold, blue flashies, and over to maintenance, gear rate usage, and still not much information there. There's no front derailleur, not that I changed the front, so I best take this out on the road and see if anything happens after a few hours on the bike. Alright, rolling through a little town here called Haddon on yesterday's ride. Not very many steep gradients on the ride, so the spread of gear usage is going to be quite low. But still, always good to get out for a ride. Okay, back up here on the work stand, over to maintenance, gear usage rate, and there we have it. Log time, 2 hours 45 of ride, and we have some information there. Not quite sure on their terminology for the front rings, top and low. However, that's what they are. You can use the checkboxes there to enable or disable those, or toggle those on or off to have a look at the gear usage. But there we have it. That's now working, and the riddle has been solved. It was a bug in the firmware that was fixed on September the 6th, I think it was, for that Di2 battery. So there we have it. After those updates, everything is working as expected. But it does have me wondering, what else is covered with general bug fixes and fixed identified issues in their changelogs? Now, just quickly before I go, the gear usage rate is only a 12-speed Di2 function. For 11-speed systems, they don't support recording of this data. However, with previous generation Di2, if you do have that group set and the wireless module paired to a head unit that records that gearing data, you can get this information from third parties. And one of those third parties is SRAM Access Web. Yes, this is compatible with Shimano Di2 group sets. So here's a ride from August 9th that I did on my giant TCR rim brake bike that has 11-speed Di2. Scrolling down, and we can see a component summary and gear usage. Front rings, rear cogs, and we can go time or distance or even power-based, so power in gear, to have a look at this information. So although not related to today's update, you can still get gearing information on older generation Di2 bikes from third parties a different way, not just through the eTube app with 12-speed Shimano Di2. Okay, we'll leave it there for today. Thumbs up if you found this content informative. Hit subscribe to be across more videos uploaded to this channel, and thanks for watching.